G'day everyone and welcome back to the Wixie 500 YouTube channel. Since the last update video there's been a few things happening. Firstly, I've made a start on the Sauber, finished the Petty NASCAR, and there's been an addition to the stash. Let's check it all out. So this is the Tamiya Sauber Mercedes C9. This is the original issue kit, not the re-release from a couple of years ago. It's March as I'm recording this, but I've got to get this done for Model Expo, which is in July, so there is a deadline on this one. Made a start on this, just working on the main pieces still, so still getting the body shaped and getting rid of the panel lines and so on in the bonnet here. I have used SMS black primer on the inside. It's a little bit rough, and I don't know whether that's a characteristic of the paint or the way I've put it on. So haven't decided yet whether I'll put that on the outside or just go with the Tamiya grey that I've been playing around with here as I worked on the bodywork, getting these brake ducts as part of the body rather than fitting them to the chassis, which is what the instructions call for. And with the chassis, again, just getting some of the main paint on, so some gloss aluminium in here, some carbon decals on the Venturis. So still a fair bit of work to go here. These triangular bits at the top are not part of the kit. I've put those on there to stop the light shining through, because when the body goes on, if I just stick this on here, without those, there's a whole lot of, you see a little bit of light through there. There's still a bit of a gap, but there was a big gap in there. So that's why those are there. Otherwise, everything else is as it comes from the kit. And just started on the engine as well. The two halves together, some parts on top, and just started on some detail painting. It's been sprayed flat aluminium, and then the gearbox has been painted. But still a lot of work to go on that, just making a start. As I mentioned in the previous video, I've got zero paints for this, and I've been warned that this is really hot. So I have done a test run on some sprue, and it's a bit hard to see here because of the grey coloured sprue and the Sauber colour, and also tried the Tamiya colour on here as well for a comparison. So I was warned about this being a very hot paint from a reader of the blog, so thanks Paul. You're right, it is. I put some on here and the plastic even started to go soft, so I'm going to have to be very careful when I go to apply that onto the model. There's also carbon aftermarket parts that I'm putting on here, but the bizarre thing is these are from Scale Motorsport, and they've got all the carbon fibre decal for the monocoque. The thing is though, this was an aluminium car, aluminium monocoque, so it did have carbon and Kevlar on the side bits and various other parts, but the actual main tub is aluminium, so that's actually, the aftermarket is a little bit wrong. So this will be a bit of a combination. A little bit of an issue with the kit so far, the colours in the instructions don't match colours in photographs I've seen, and with photographs, part of the problem is that there are photographs from 1989, the car in error, but this car has also been restored and has been on demo run, so there's photos on the internet of the restored version, and it's different to the race version with the materials that they use and all sorts of things. So I'm just going with what I think looks right. That's not necessarily going to be a fully accurate build, this one. In here I've just got other parts that have been cut out and cleaned up. So most of the parts have been cleaned up for this kit, and just painting as I go, as I need them. There's some parts here, for example, that have partly been painted. Yep. So that's where we are on the Sauber. Secondly, this Richard Petty Daytona 500 winner from 1979 has been finished. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of what I've done since the last update to this one on this model, because there's already a couple of videos on YouTube about the build. It's in two parts. The first part covers the engine and the chassis. The second part covers the masking and painting the livery and the final assembly. So if you want to have a look at more about this particular model, go and have a look at the other videos on YouTube. And finally, the addition to the stash. Now, this is an out of production kit. It's about 20 years old now. Kit number 55 in Tamiya's 120 scale Grand Prix collection. I paid 140 Australian dollars for this, which is overpriced for just the kit, just the instructions that come with it. But this kit came with a bunch of aftermarket. So there's a whole lot of photo etch parts here, grills for radiators, brackets, seat belts, parts for the brakes, etc. that will improve the detail that already comes with the kit. These are the original decals that come with the kit, and also several sheets of carbon fibre. So all up with the aftermarket, I think it's a reasonably fair price. And the kit is effectively, it's like brand new. I mean, everything is still in its bags. This is all of the main body parts, nose cone, wings, etc. Everything is in its bag. It all appears to be there. So I'm not going to be building this straight away. There's a few other models in the queue ahead of it, but this is a model I've been looking for quite a while. It's all the suspension parts there, uprights, etc. I've been looking for this for quite a while, and so happy to have finally got it to put it in the stash. Rubber tyres come with all these kits, and the floor and engine halves. Yeah. So won't be working on this straight away, but if you want to know when I am working on it or when there's a video about it, subscribe to the channel, and then when a video drops, especially if you hit the notification bell, you'll be told about it, and then you can decide whether you want to watch it or not. Anyway, until next time, cheers.